guys, today we're going to make a cute little thank you card. We're going to do it in 3 parts. We're going to first sketch it out in lead pencil. We're going to go over it with black pen, and then we're going to make a cute little embellishment, maybe a flower or something. Let's get into it. I just do this every day in my school book, like for titles and everything. And just when you're a bit bored, just practice. I always thought that I couldn't copy stuff off the internet because I have to have my own style. I'm not allowed to copy, but I've copied things over time and I've kind of developed my own way of doing things now. I'm just going to add some more little embellishments on it. I'm just going to do them in this corner, so Hey guys, it's Riley, and today I'm going to show you how I made this aesthetic video in KineMaster. Today we are going to cover basic color grading, resizing and trimming multicam clips, adding title pages, and be sure to stick around till the end for some effects that will take your aesthetic video to the next level. Color grade our footage. Here we are in KineMaster, with my clips all synced and ready to go. First off, let's reduce the opacity of our overhead camera. Now we can see what's happening with the footage below. I'm going to select this clip and make some adjustments. First, I'm going to reduce the brightness. I'm going to also adjust the saturation slider and bring the temperature down to introduce a little more blue. There are lots more options, but I think I'm done with this clip. For my overlay, I think we need a bit more brightness, and I'm just going to play around with the settings until I like what I see. I really should have had a hair light, which would have lifted the exposure on the page, but adding some brightness and lifting the shadows has this footage looking pretty good. Okay, let's drag to resize the clip, and we can put it in this corner for now. It's time for the next step. Resizing and trimming your clips. After I introduce my video, I want to cut to the overhead camera. To do this, I select the clip and drag to resize. I'm going to drag a little past full size so you can see what's really going on. Trimming footage in multicam can be tricky because if you don't trim all tracks evenly, your cameras and audio can fall out of sync. I want to remove a section of footage 59 seconds in the timeline to 1 minute 24. Here's how we do it. First, reduce the opacity of camera 2 by around 50% so you can see what is happening on both cameras. Without moving the playhead, select the first track, select scissors, and split at playhead. Now select the second track. This time I'm going to use this handy shortcut to make the split. And again for our audio track. Shuttle forwards to 1 minute 24 and split all the tracks again. Before I delete these unwanted clips, I'm going to line the playhead up with the end of my first section, then click Media, Photos, Background, and choose a solid color that I can place the title on later. Now we can select each track and click the trash can to delete. Finally, I will line up camera 2 and the separate audio track with the new position of our main camera. Zoom right in to edit frame by frame and ensure the tracks are perfectly lined up. Done! As long as we continue trimming the same amount from each clip as we edit our footage, then they will stay in sync. Adding a title. I've gone ahead and edited all of my footage, and it's time to add titles between each section. Having title breaks between my clips makes it easy to keep my editing organised and make my video easy to follow. I want to add a title to this blue section we added earlier, but before I do, I'm going to click on the Assets Store, browse fonts, handwriting, and select this cafe font which goes with the aesthetic I want to achieve. Click Layer, Text to add our title, Now if we select font, then handwriting, we can choose our new font. That looks great. Drag to resize and click in animation to add a cool effect. Adding effects. It's really fun to experiment with the different effects and overlays from the KineMaster Asset Store to get the aesthetic you're after. To add an effect, click Layer, then browse the effects you have downloaded and choose the one you want. I'm going to select Scan Wave. Drag up or down to cover part or all of your clip with the effect. You can even apply a shape mask to your effect. Right now it's a square mask, but it could be a triangle. That's cool. Or a circle. Or maybe even a love heart. Under the effects settings, you can change all kinds of parameters for the perfect aesthetic. Enable scan lines, scale scan lines, and you can slide here to adjust the amount of noise. When you are done playing, you can add an animation to the effect or create your own with keyframes. I'm going to select the effect, then click the key symbol to activate keyframes. Let's add a keyframe here and here. With the second keyframe selected, I'm going to transform the effect to a thin line. Then shift forward, add another keyframe, and whiz it off screen. Let's play that back. Adding humour to your videos is a great way to keep your viewers entertained. Here I'm going to select Layer and then Overlay, and under Pink Doodles, I'm going to select this smiley face. I discovered if you align a sticker to a hard edge like my card here, you can animate it with Enter Slide Right, and it looks like it appeared from under the card. Animate it off with Exit Slide Left, and add some pop sound effects from the Asset Store to complete the effect. So many sound effects. Camera 2 needs a floral border. Select Layer, Overlay, and I'm going to choose Pattern Frame. This one looks great. Drag to resize, and we're done. I thought about adding some glasses under Layer, Overlay, Neutro 01, but even though I love the look with the multiply blend mode, I decided it might be too distracting for my drawing. But I did apply an instance or two of split spectrum, which I resized over my card. Added a quick fade in and out, and applied a slice of neon noise for good effect. Is there such a thing as an understated aesthetic? The final overlay I applied over my introduction was to make up for my messy framing on my pens. Click Layer, Overlay, VHS Glitch 2. I rotated the effect to match the angle of my table, then blended it with Multiply. So my video's looking great, but it goes for 7 minutes. So let's speed it up a bit. To keep everything in sync, we'll export the project out and then re-import it back into KineMaster. Slice up the longer sections, and finally select the clip, select speed, and swipe right to adjust the length. Simple. You can add music and extra voiceover to tie the whole thing together. Done! Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Smash the sub button and ring the bell to keep me coming back. My name's Riley, and I'll see you next time.